is teaching us. You see that knowledge of the real self, discernment. And once there is a knowledge plus discernment, what happens? Mind takes the world lightly, so lightly that it does not seek any happiness from outside. So that mind blossoms into meditative state. So you see that a couple of weeks we have been understanding. You will recall Om meditation. So Om is a designator of the real self. That is only. That is the fact. We say Om is the greatest mantra, and then we forget ourselves. We start repeating it, and then there is no end to our suffering. So if we look back, he says Om meditation, tajap tadarth bhavanam. Om plus meaning. When I say Stephen, I don't mean brandy. So the same way, when I say Om should take my mind inside. That is the key of this sutra that we have studied. Then there is another. We discussed about the 9 obstacles, and all the 9 obstacles belong to this mind. Whose mind? Your mind. That's why you are suffering. Huh? That's why we are suffering. So we have to maintain our awareness. If the mind changes its direction, we have to bring it back. But what Master is saying that if we practice Om meditation with a meaning, I am stressing on that. That is what we have done. So what happens? Then he comes to the next sutra. Patanjali has been very kind. I have told you that all masters are so kind and humble. Oh, you do not get any result from this practice? Come on, I'll give you next practice. Masters cannot be defeated. They give you 1,000 practices. Question is, are you a seeker? Do you want to continue? If you want to continue, it will help. So then the master says, did you understand Om with the meaning? Yes, I understand. So he says, this will help you to move the mind within, and it will remove all the obstacles. In the next sutra. Now the next sutra, then he explains the 9 obstacles, and he explains the 4 symptoms. Do you remember? Dukha Dharmanas, I experience pain, I have lot of pain, lot of restlessness. It all comes from the 9 obstacles. So then he says, okay, no, but what should I do? People have complained that, no, I do the practice 1 hour, I feel very calm and relaxed. But once I enter into my professional and personal life, I have lot of problems. So we have covered 4 attitude in the mind should be settled. Living your personal, professional, social life with an experience of the state of cheerfulness, friendliness, compassion, joy, and equanimity should be settled in the mind. Yesterday I was talking, Brandy was there. I said, this sutra does not mean that you want to be a spiritual. How do you excel your personal, professional, social, family life? It helps you. It helps you to evolve. So then, so you say, no, how can I do it? It seems difficult. You see what people do, mistake people do? Now, my honey is crazy. How can I be cheerful? See, it means I'm not a seeker. I'm not a seeker. This is none of the business of honey. It is my own mind. It is my own mind has to work. That is the greatest challenge non-seeker face in day-to-day life. You see, that is why every master says, are you a seeker? You will succeed. Seeker alone succeeds. I've been stressing. So, seeker means what? I must get the knowledge first. Knowledge first. You buy an iPhone, you have a manual with it. And suppose the iPhone sends a manual of a phrase in your iPhone. What will happen? So these are manuals, teachings. So I must acquire the knowledge. Then I should separate the knowledge of the real self from the knowledge of the not self. That is what I started talking. That I can give that example of a brandy. If brandy contains happiness, then there will be a long queue in front, long line in front of brandy's house. Give me little, give me little, give me little. We do not, mind does not want to understand it. So now the master is coming. He says, you did not understand the knowledge correctly. You want to do something to achieve happiness. So that is the next sutra. That is the subject of breathing practices. So he say, prachaddarn vidaranabhyam va pranasya. Do you know your life? Yes, I know the life breath, life force. Do you breathe? Yes. Are you ready to alter the rate and the rhythm of the breath? Yes, I am ready. Are you a seeker? Master is asking, yes. So seeker means you have to follow. If I say you to breathe for 9 minutes, you have to breathe for 9 minutes. No complaint in between. No, we are not doing 9 minutes today. So not to. You, my friends, you change your breath rate even 5 or 6 breaths. It triggers the brain. That is a fact. And when it triggers the brain, it leads to a variety of experiences. As a seeker, I withstand those changes. Why? To bring about a change in the mind. How is your life? Life means with the life breath. Oh, I am pulling on, as if you are pulling on your life, as if you are pulling on your breath. You see, it comes from the mind. So ultimately, the knowledge has to be there. So now understand about this, why we do alter the breath rate in order to achieve success in meditation. Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Hatha Yoga text says, Chale vate chalam chittam nischale nischalam bhavet yogi sthanuttamapανoti tato vayum niru. The moment you alter the rate and the rhythm of the breath, depending on the level of ignorance you have. Some people, within a minute, you can reach to that state. Other people may need 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe an hour. So it means if when I am a seeker, I understand this part. So what this master is saying, if the mind is scattered outside in millions of directions, that is what we see and say that mind is wandering. If you alter the rate and the rhythm of the breath, that scattered mind is gathered inside. Patanjali says, by the regular practice of the breathing, we get a remarkable focus of the mind. First, at the same time, During that period of focus, because the mind is naturally focused inside, you remove the ignorance in the mind. The benefit of tatakshiyate prakasha varanam, it removes the veil of ignorance. So it means all practices of pranayama gives you a temporary state of focus and the withdrawal. During that period, if you do not take your mind much deeper, you will not succeed into meditation. So normally we say, no, I did the breathing practice, it helps me. Yes, no doubt it helps you. But what? But you remain the Henry. Have you heard the poem of Henry? Huh? Huh? I'm Henry the eighth, I am. Now you remember. So it becomes habitual. Henry the eighth, I am. I got married to the widow next door. Next door, you see? Something. She has been married 7 times before, and everyone was Henry. She wouldn't have been a Willie nor a Sam. I am her eighth old man named Henry. Why I said so? You have to do the practice of breathing, but let the time come when the mind settles deeper into meditation, leave the breathing. Because I cannot breathe 24 by 7. Do you see that? So once we understand that part, yes, another is also very important. You all are seekers, so let us understand that part. First thing about the prana, where there is a change, movement, there is prana. Is earth moving? Prana is there. Sun is moving? Prana is there. Galaxy moving? Prana is there. Body is moving? Prana is there. Your home is moving? Yes or no? Home is changing after all. You leave the home for 100 years, it falls down. So we don't see that subtle change. But it is changing. Body is changing? Yes. Mind is changing? Yes. Intellect is changing? Yes. Ego is changing? Yes. Every cell is changing? Yes. There is prana. First thing to understand. How do you say that this table has a prana? So then we explain through the process of evolution. Huh? Those who have studied medical science, they understand what do we mean by cell. Cell comes from a unit of protoplasm. And what is protoplasm? It is an organization of matter in different permutation and combination. That is protoplasm, and one unit of protoplasm is cell. So it means that life force was present in that matter until it became protoplasm and the cell, it manifested there. Only the process of manifestation took place. That is why we say, I am a living being, and there is a matter, non living being. So it means prana is present everywhere. Now comes from the blade of a grass to an elephant. I was talking earlier that this life force unconsciously acts on every living being. How? Look at your pet dog. Hunger. It is the work of the prana. Now, question is how different we are from the from these animals. There comes the right knowledge. Can I regulate the prana? Answer is yes. Can the dog regulate the prana? Answer is no. I saw uh, some of the on the Google dog yoga. So, dog yoga. So okay, first let us practice yoga for us, and then we will go to the dog. So understand, we can alter the this prana to influence the mind. The dog cannot do. That is why they remain dog throughout the life. Do I want to remain Henry the eighth? That is why I sound. Well, if I want to remain the Henry the eighth, it's okay. I don't want to change. So any change, it's there is one master. No, our Shiva, Lord Shiva, who is the originator of yoga and the tantra, who devoted entirely on the prana, and he taught to his honey, his wife, because his wife asked, "What you guide us in a very simple way. You give us a very small tips so that every human being can enter into the peace and happiness." So Shiva started guiding. There are 100 or 150 verses, and that is one book. How you can alter the rate and the rhythm of the birth when you are going to meet honey so that the honey should respond to you in peace. With what kind of a breathing you should enter into the office, your workplace to get prosperity. Lot of other stuff. But the entire focus is that how to alter the breath in order to bring the mind to the state of meditation. That is the main focus. Because people, do not sometimes, this non-seekers do not understand, what should I do? I have lot of problems. And you are saying that I should do meditation. So you are a non-seeker. See that? So in that context, Patanjali says that if you alter the rate and the rhythm of the breath, then it can bring a change in your life. You do not repeat that I am the Henry the eighth. That simply means I follow the same habitual routine in my life. The oldest book, known as Rig Veda, after that there is a book Atharveda, that says prano virat prano destri pranam sarva upasate prano surya chandrama. Prana is a nectar. Prano virat prano. Prana is all pervading. Oldest book, almost 5,000 years old. So you see, they give you a deeper insight. There is a change in the fingers. Oh, prana is there. Movement of my eyes. Prana is there. Can you become aware of this movement of the prana? Mind is already there. The self-conscious being, I can regulate the prana. You have an anger, start breathing deep, silent, and slow. At the same time, don't start preaching others. Oh, in anger, you have to breathe deeply. But your anger comes, you forget it. Prana Virat Prano Deshti Prana Sarvopasate. That is why prana is worshipped. So here it says prana is worship means my mind should regulate the prana. in order to succeed in mindfulness or meditation to discover my real nature. My real nature. That is what the master is saying. I stress again, you remember, I'm also a body. I have a body. Sometimes I feel heaviness. I said, no, first thing to do is start breathing deep, silent, and slow. My goal is to bring the rate of the breath per minute by 2 or 3 breaths. Once you reach to the 2 and 3 breath, the heaviness goes away, the pain in the head goes. But one has to be mindful to do it. We start looking for the pills. A headache, so the pill. So, two things again, remember, we are going to practice breathing, this time alternate breathing. What is alternate breathing? So, I close my right nostril first, and through the left, I fill the air into the belly, into the ribs. Totally empty with a tremendous force. If I can do, I'm the oldest guy among you. If I can do that, you can definitely do it. So it is possible. But keep your focus inside the forehead. So what is going to happen? The mind will continue to live in. So what we are doing, the alternate breathing, we will do 1 minute from the left nostril, 1 minute from the right nostril, and 1 minute from both the nostrils. Do you remember what did I say? You have to inhale into the belly and the ribs. Total breathing. Total force. So you have to empty the breath, you have to fill. You have to empty the lungs, means you have to empty the. Just a pointer. Why I say you have to fill the air into your belly? Air does not go into the belly. It simply means you have to inhale so that the belly expands, goes out. Huh? Sometimes scientists say, what the heck you are speaking? Can we breathe into the belly? These are symbolism. We need not to argue with them. So, breathing into the chest means I expand the ribs. Can we do 3 rounds? 1 minute each. During these 3 rounds, you have to check if the mind goes back to the 9 obstacles. Oh, this is too much. So, let me start doing it slowly only. After all, I have to listen to this beard guy. It will not work. He does not understand my problem. It is not the case. You do not understand. So when we do the pranayama, it is an active practice. So active practice means you have to continue with the long, deep, and the hissing breath. Long, deep in the hissing. One word of caution. Where is that caution? Where is that caution? Nothing happens. So, what is the word of caution? If you do not focus inside the forehead during the breathing, for example, unconsciously, if the focus goes to your eyes, the prana will affect your eyes. You may start, oh, what happened to my heart? Nothing happens to your heart. Sometimes you may feel the vibes inside your arm. It means you have changed your focus. So keep your focus there and let us start practicing our today's meditation. So It is